before I get started, I have one question. Do we have any parents in the room? I kind of figured, ratios. It was going to be pretty good, and that's like the response I was expecting, really quiet. I've never come across a parent that's meeting another parent. It's like a high five or like a fist pump situation, like, yay, parents! It's more, you know this, it's more along the lines of like an empathetic head nod. If you're lucky, you might get the, I feel you. You know, it's, you know, you gotta really take your kids to the hockey practice. Like, I feel you. You got a newborn. You're never gonna sleep again. That's what it comes down to. But as parents, we also have this wonderful responsibility where we get to be teachers. We're the teachers, our kids are the students. The school system does their thing, and credit to what they do. But there's the really fun parts that we get to do. Like my kids, they learned everything about Star Wars. They learned about Marvel, comics, and the universe. Let's see what else. Good music. I think like really good music. Queen is good music. Absolutely, Queen is good music. We rock out to Bohemian Rhapsody all the time. Literally, like it drives the dog nuts. She doesn't know what to do. But there are also these wonderful moments where we get to learn from them. And that's what I want to talk to you about tonight. It's one of the moments where I, the teacher, learn from the student. Now, to do this, we got to go back in time to 2014. To put this into context, I was working full-time downtown Toronto, 8 hours a day, with a 4-hour commute. So 2 hours in, 2 hours back. That's a long day. And I'll say this right here and now, anybody who complains about going across that bridge, skip it. You don't know the struggle. Yeah, exactly. Maybe Van City, you could maybe can compare that to, but yeah. So like these were long days. So by the time that Friday rolled around, I was a little punch drunk. You know, like I was more or less useless to my own children. And Saturday, forget about it. Like I just roll out of bed, grab my coffee, get dressed. We're gonna put on some Saturday morning cartoons, Netflix, whatever. But we're not doing anything for this day. I gotta recharge. The problem was, on this particular day, I had one task. It was like, for the basis of our survival as a family, we had to take up this one thing and then we could go back to Netflix and sugar, candy, breakfast cereal, whatever. My wife's here, she's shaking her head, she knows. It was granola. It was Pop-Tarts. But what I had to do, we had to go grocery shopping on a busy Saturday morning with both my kids. Yay me. Now, I love my kids. I'm so happy and so proud to be a dad. It's ridiculous. My kids, they're smart, they're funny, they're incredibly sarcastic. These are all personality traits that I'm just like single tier, like I made those. But on this day, they were super argumentative, defiant little snots. They were my defiant little snots, but they were still little snots, nonetheless. And I mean everything. Getting dressed, brushing their teeth, finishing breakfast, mentioning the fact that we had to leave the house to go grocery shopping, like just forget about it. That in and of itself was a 20-minute argument. We finished that, I chugged back my now ice-cold coffee, wrangled them into the car, and away we go. Now, the grocery store was only a 5-minute drive away. Quick and easy, right? On this particular day, my kids decided that they needed to quote verbatim all their favorite scenes, songs included, from the movie Frozen. So this was like the longest car ride of my life. And I'm fairly certain there's like a place in hell that's just dedicated to like old show tunes and Disney soundtrack. Just on a continuous loop. I fear for my life because I just know this, we're gonna put him here. Now, We get to the grocery store, but of course, busy Saturday morning, so that means that it's not as simple as just pulling up and parking. No, 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 no. It is now a matter of we're in this vehicular ballet, weaving in and out of other vehicles, dodging pedestrians, runaway shopping carts. 10 minutes, more or less, to finally find a spot. I'm at like my final mental, like just hanging on by a thread. And we haven't even gone into the grocery store yet. So, we make our way in, and of course there are other parents that are now engaged in the exact same situation. So like empathetic head nods, maybe a couple of these, and we engage in this process of getting food so we don't starve and die. And really that's what it comes down to. It's not just supporting a capitalist structure, like we need to eat. So, health and wellness. And so at this point we get in there, and if I'm grocery shopping on my own, I can do it in 15 minutes flat. I'm not bragging, it's just I go in, I've got my list, I get what I need, pay for it, and I get out. Came, saw it, done. Homeward bound. And roll credits, there we go. But on this particular day, I wasn't by myself. I had my 2 lovely children, which meant that 15 minutes turned into 45 minutes in a grocery store, going through aisles, on a Frozen soundtrack, on that continuous loop, interspersed with, no, we're not getting that, that's junk. No, put that back, we're not buying that. No, I told you, it's sugar, we're not putting, you don't like it, take it up with your mother. Don't make me count to 3. 45 minutes shopping debacle. So we're finally able to get everything on the list, cross it off, and we're like, okay, let's go pay. So now we're making our way to the cashier, and it's not a matter of she sees us coming, she hears us coming because Frozen, and she's got this great big smile on her face because for her, she's already seen this scenario like 20 times already, and it's only like 10 in the morning. So she knows exactly what she needs to do. We come up, I'm like just slowly dying on the inside. She looks at both of my kids and she's like, would you sweethearts like a sticker? Heck yeah, they would. Stickers to my kids are like Scooby snacks to dirty beatniks and talking dogs. This was like handing over the golden fleece. This was the big prize. This was the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. But the thing is, it worked. Like, it really worked. My kids now completely ignored me. And I mean completely ignored me. Like, I didn't exist. They were focused on talking about what sticker they were going to pick out. Awesome. I was able to ring everything through, pay for it, bag it all up, and I looked at my kids and I'm like, okay, we gotta go. My daughter, she picked out this cute little octopus, and my son picked out a shiny little fish. He loved this fish so much that he named it. I don't remember what the name was, so please don't ask, but I know it was something cute because everybody in earshot was like, oh, that's adorable. I'm like, yeah, I made that. I helped, and I can't take full credit. We all know guys can never take full credit for that. And science. And so the thing that was, the cashier, I thanked her profusely. My kids, of course, they were like, thank you, thank you, thank you, this is amazing. And they wave goodbye and they're walking out. And I look at the cashier and I'm like, you have no idea how you've just like made their day and you just really helped out my morning. She looks at me, she's like, honey, I got 2 of my own. I feel you. So, it's a thing. Pay attention to it when other parents, you'll see empathetic head nods or some other form of like communication that, hey, I know what you're going through. Now, we came, we saw, we conquered. We got everything on the list, got all the on sale items, a few things that we weren't supposed to get, and let's go home. But we can't because we're still in the parking lot. So we have re-engaged in the vehicular ballet that was taking place, only this time it's just trying to get out. Now, I'm not a perfect driver. I will attest to that. I will admit to that. I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses, but I also know that I'm not a terrible driver. I checked all my blind spots and I made sure that I was in the clear. So, pulled out, we're good, shift into drive. I took like, maybe drove 2 feet. Another car came out of nowhere, cuts me off, almost crashes into my front end. And then that driver had the audacity to look at me and give me the ugly, like, stink eye look, like, "You're a terrible driver, I can't believe you're such a jerk." And then drives off. So I did what any rational human being would do, who's mentally hanging on by a thread, and I snap. Now, I mean, like, I lost it. I never got so angry in my entire life. Well, I've come close, but this was bad. This was really, really bad. Like, white knuckle, the steering wheel, like red in the face, veins popping out of my neck, and in a single breath, I just spit out this stream of profanity and obscenities and just anger and hate and just like, and like I lost it. Like I just disconnected. And then I ended up taking a breath. And in that breath, I had a moment of clarity. And I remember, "Nathan, you're not alone." And sure enough, I look in the rearview mirror, and what are supposed to be two very happy, shiny little children are two very scared, I mean utterly terrified children. Tears are streaming down their face. Like they didn't see the car, they didn't see the other driver. All they knew is that we started to go, things were great, we stopped suddenly, and Dad got really, really, really mad. And Dad said stuff that we're not supposed to hear on TV or movies or anything, but we're sure we're gonna take this back to Mom at some point. The amount of money I had to pay off to them that day. So I see them and they're crying, like they're completely distraught. So I'm stuck there and I'm feeling like garbage because I lost it in front of my kids to a level that I've never lost it before. So I'm trying to explain to them, I'm like, "It's not your fault. Like honestly, you guys are not in trouble. Believe me, it was just this guy came out of nowhere and like I just stopped and then almost got hit and like just you're not in trouble. Please stop crying. Please stop crying. Okay, you know what? Let's just go home." Now, what should have been a 5-minute like Frozen soundtrack commute was just dead awkward silence. And I mean, like you could hear a pin drop if you could hear a pin drop in a moving vehicle. But it was so quiet. And the only thing that broke that silence was my son, who spoke up and said, "Daddy, when we get home, I want to give you my fish sticker." "Why would you want to give me your fish sticker? You named your sticker, you love that fish." "Daddy, I want to give you your fish sticker because it makes me happy and I want you to be happy too." "Yeah, thank you. I am now Nathan's feelings of guilt and remorse. My spirit animal is an ass. You can visualize a donkey or a pair of butt cheeks. Either one could fit in this context." I'm speechless. I'm just like, what do I even say to that? Other than, okay, well, buddy, don't worry about it. Now, the thing is, he was true to his word. Like, I hadn't even put all the groceries away. We got home, got everything out of the car. I set them free to run wild in the wilderness of our living room. And he came in, didn't say anything. He just peeled the sticker off of his shirt, put it on my right hand, gave me this great big hug, and says, "Daddy, I love you. Now you can be happy too." And then walked away like nothing happened. I learned in that moment that my son could see someone in pain and knew instinctively that he needed to help. My son saw me, that someone was me, just totally broken, and he wanted to step up and be like, "I'm here for you." He was immediately able to forgive the fact that Daddy went like Hulk mad. To him, that wasn't even the issue. To him, it was, he knew he wasn't in trouble, but he didn't want me to be hurting. That was a lot of weight to take in that moment. As I'm standing in the kitchen, groceries around me, staring at my hand, feeling like human trash, considering just what they heard, and then thinking to myself, "Oh man, they're gonna grow up so messed up. They're gonna like make a meth lab or get into law or something, I don't know. And I worked in the law firm at one point, so give me that one, okay? And the thing is, I'm like, okay, I gotta call my kids in. So I call my kids in, and I give them a great big hug, and I say to them, like, here's my promise to you. I promise I will never get that angry in front of you ever again. And my promise to myself is that I will never let that kind of negativity take over my life. And as a constant reminder of that situation and the promises that I made, the next time I had money, I went out and I got a fish tattooed on my hand, so every time that I wake up, I see it. I can't escape it. I love the fact that people are applauding the pain I went through to get that tattoo. It didn't tickle, folks. It was still kind of fun. But my takeaway for everyone here, though, is this. Each and every one of you has someone who looks up to you. It could be your own children, it could be a family member, or a friend, or a coworker, or a client that you work with. But someone looks up to you. Someone respects you to the level that they want to have you as a role model. Which means that each and every one of us, myself included, we have to on a daily basis put our best foot forward and do what we can to walk with a positive mental attitude and be a positive role model for those people that we have in our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my story of how one little fish made some incredibly large waves in my life. My name is Nathan Hutton. Thank you so much for having me. You've been a wonderful audience.